Hi, welcome to the Balanced Body Podcast. My name is Ada Wells, and I'm joined here today by Lisa O'Hurley, and we are at Edgewood Tahoe Golf Course. And what we're going to focus today on today's segment is looking at how we can work on stabilization for the hips and pelvis, as well as working on balance. And we're going to do this using the Ultra Fit Circle by Balanced Body. So what I'm going to first do is we're going to place this ring right just above the ankles. And I'm going to have Lisa really focusing on that tripod of her foot, thinking about having our weight behind the first metatarsal head, fourth and fifth, and at the heel, so she's really solid there. So what we're going to start with, she can hold a golf club, whether she uses it for balance. Let's go ahead and just put it down if you were going to use it for balance. And we're going to do some weight shifting, so let's just go ahead and just shift your weight back and forth. So if she needed to use the club for some balance, she could. And as she shifts her weight on each side, she's really focusing on trying to land on that tripod each time, okay? Now, let's go ahead and if we wanted to, for a more advanced version, she can actually hold on to the club or even hold the club in front of her chest. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and we'll hold it right in front of you. And let's go ahead and shift your weight onto one side. And then let's go ahead and hold that position, see if you can do some pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's shift to the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we're emphasizing as she's shifting her weight, go ahead and let's do it again on the right, is trying to think about lifting up tall through the center of the spine. And one more time on the other side. Watching that they're not overly leaning over to one side and trying to lift that spine out of the pelvis. Beautiful. Now, what we can do with this as more of a function to relate to golf is actually, let's go ahead and go into your golf stance position. And what we're going to do is have her go through some rotational movements as similar to the golf swing. And the reason is to try to emphasize that connection of the inner thighs and keeping the weight on the inside of the leg as she's going through her rotational motion and back down. So this can be just used as a teaching tool just to be able to emphasize that feeling. Okay. And we can have her do it to each direction just so she stays symmetrical. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and come up to standing. Okay, next what we're going to do, let's go ahead and we're going to remove this from here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place the ring around the outside of her ankle. So go ahead and step into the ring. Okay. And from here, this position is going to emphasize work in the gluteals. The glutes are really the king of the golf swing, and we want to make sure that people have a good sense of where those are at. So thinking about pulling that spine out of the pelvis, once again, we can use that golf club either as an assist for balance if they need it, or like I said, we can use it to hold in front of us, which you can just choose which one you prefer. And let's go ahead and we're going to first just shift our weight back and forth. This is one of those great little sneaky exercises where people will suddenly feel like, oh, I do have gluteals. Okay, so we might have her shift each time, once again, focusing on that tripod of the foot. And let's go ahead and go to one foot, find your balance point, pull that spine up, and we're going to push out for 5. And then we will shift on to the other side, pushing out for 5. We might have that repeat that 2 to 3 times. Let's do that one more time here. And one more time the other side. You're doing great. And back to center. Good. Now, what's a nice little exercise we can add with this to once again emphasize the glutes, emphasize lower body strength, is just adding some squats. So let's go ahead and just put your arms down at your hips and thinking about standing nice and tall. We're going to go ahead, as you go into that squat, you can go into a little bit of flexion and coming back up. I want you to think about keeping those ribs connected as you do that and back up. So we might do like maybe 5 reps just coming to chest level. We'll just do 3 here just for time. And let's go ahead now bring the arms all the way up overhead. So as you're going down into your squat, we're going to go ahead and go overhead and back down. So what we're looking at is her lower extremity alignment, thinking about also where the weight is on your feet and keeping the ribs in check. Good, nice and long through the spine. Let's do one more of those and relax. Great, so that's a great way to work on hip abduction and the glutes for the golf swing. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to remove this. Okay, to work on more of a balance, to challenge your balance a little bit more using the Ultra Fit Circle, we're going to go ahead and place one foot in front of the other. Now this may be the place where she would want to use that golf club as a little bit of assist. And we're going to initially start with just a little bit of a forward and back weight shifting. Good, and once again, just emphasizing where you feel your weight hitting. Now, some people have a little bit of a turnout, a little bit of a torsion in their legs. It's okay to allow them to do that. In the golf swing, they're not totally parallel, they are turned out. So I'm fine with allowing her to do that. And let's go ahead and we're going to find your weight on your back leg. Okay, and from there, we're going to go ahead and pulse. 3, 4, 5, and then let's go ahead and go to the forward leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And so if we wanted to challenge her, she could do the same thing. Let's hold on to the club. Let's see how we do with this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a more difficult one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And relax. We would obviously work on that on both sides. Now, if we wanted to, let's go ahead and put your feet inside here. So we can do the same little tight rope exercise. Let's put your one foot back on right there, the other foot forward. Okay, just go ahead and, yeah, there we go. So now this will be a little different. Now she's got to actually place the weight. She's got to be pushing her opposing forces towards the ring. Let's do our little weight shift forward and back. Now what we'll have to watch a little bit on this is that she doesn't go into too much hyperextension of the knee. So she's got to stabilize that knee without hyperextending it. That's better. And then let's go ahead and just come to the forward position and go ahead and we'll kick back. 3, 4, 5, and then coming back and we're going to kick forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And once again, we could do the same thing where she holds the club in front if we wanted to. Let's go ahead and we'll try that, see how it goes. 1. Let's go ahead and try that for the pulses here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, and you can just relax right there. So this is a great way that we can use the UltraFit Circle just to work on balance and once again emphasizing different aspects of lower extremity weight bearing, control, and activation of the muscles. Okay, stay tuned for our next podcast and we'll see you soon.